Hello, welcome to Wedding Planning Wednesdays. I hope your January is going well so far. I cannot believe it's already mid-January. I feel like I probably say that all the time, but I don't know, time just seems to be flying by. So I hope you're recovering from the holiday season. I feel like January is kind of like catch-up mode, getting rest from the holidays, which are usually supposed to be restful, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it. So sometimes you need a vacation from the break. As for myself, I feel like I'm getting back into it. And although the celebratory kind of vibe from the holiday season might be over, it's still time to celebrate because did you know that it's engagement season, or otherwise known as proposal season? And apparently about half of the engaged couples who get engaged between Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day. And it's likely because there's just a lot of other celebrations going on, a lot of opportunities for family and friends to get together. So it's a great time for couples to get engaged if they want to celebrate with their loved ones. But that's what I'm going to discuss today. Like, just before you dive into wedding planning, what are those things that you might want to do or plan for before then even? In case you're new here, my name is Jane Yu. I am the co-founder and lead wedding planner at UNS Events. I am based in Los Angeles, and I love supporting engaged couples that are planning and designing their wedding from beginning to end. And I really try to focus on personalizing the wedding by way of intentional decision making. So obviously, before you even plan a wedding, you have to get engaged, most likely. I know some people that have told me that they do start planning their wedding or just start thinking about it if they've been with their partner for a while or if they've talked about it. But, you know, if you are planning to get engaged, maybe you're the one that's planning the proposal, or maybe you're the one you think you're getting proposed to, there's definitely ways to sort of get your mind right and prepare for it for sure. You know, I personally, if you follow me on Instagram, I personally love a good surprise. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love a good surprise just because that impactful feeling that I get when I am surprised, I don't know, it's really special to me. And so also the thought, the planning that goes on behind it is really meaningful to me. And I am really happy to say that when I got engaged, it was a while ago, almost, I think it was at least 8 years ago when I got engaged, which sounds crazy to say, but we were engaged 8 years ago, almost exactly. It was in January sometime, if I remember correctly. But John, my husband, really put that work in, and he really, really got me good. So if you do want to see the story or like a really brief snippet, you can definitely go check it out. But essentially, he planted the seed really far in advance of like a fake story of what was happening, and I totally bought into it. And the highlights from mine, I think, which a lot of couples definitely do, or the person proposing definitely plans for, is having a photographer there, because I think capturing the moment is really, really important and special. At least a photographer. Sometimes these days people have definitely been doing video, even if it's just a phone video. And so I think just, you know, thinking through those kind of details is definitely important. So I realized I haven't thought or talked much about being engaged. I've just kind of been like, hey, if you're planning a wedding, do this and this and this. But I realized it's important for couples to also understand what comes even before the wedding planning starts. And I think it also kind of sets the tone going forward. You know, I've talked about that a lot when it comes to wedding planning. So it's not really different when it comes to getting engaged. A lot of this information, because I hadn't really talked about engagement in a long time, or like ever really, a lot of this is from an article I found on The Knot, and I sort of took pieces from it that I thought were really important. I linked it below in the description, so you can definitely take a deeper dive there. So just to break it down, if you're the one planning to propose, I think these are some things that you want to consider. I think pre-proposal, even before planning it, is have you and your partner talk to each other about it? Are you aligned on your futures? Are you aligned on the commitment that you're making? It doesn't really matter how long you've been together. Sometimes, a lot of times people say when you know, but have you talked about it? Because I think that's important. And that doesn't mean the proposal can't be a surprise. The proposal can still be planned as a surprise if you want, but have you talked about it? And I think if you haven't, you definitely should, just because you never know what the other person might be thinking or feeling. So that's like the first step. And I feel like maybe that was a little bit obvious, but maybe it's not. So I just wanted to make sure you don't skip this step before you start planning the proposal. The second thing is, if you're planning on buying an engagement ring, I think to take a little bit of the pressure off, I think talk to your partner about whether or not they want to be involved in the process. Some people might not want to be involved in the process and just be okay with your selection, but some people might really want what they're going to be happy with. And I think that's totally fine to talk about it, to go ring shopping, to see what people like or your partner likes, because it can be a pretty big investment, and you should talk about it because it also, comes to finances too, right? So I think it's a good open air kind of conversation to have, and no pressure when it comes to it. And even for the person who is, going to be receiving the ring, I think it's okay for you to just kind of say what you like, what you don't like, especially if your partner is asking you to talk about it. When I got engaged, all I really wanted was a rose gold band, and the rest I left up to John. And I know he has good taste. And I don't know if I actually don't know if he talked about it with anyone of my friends or sister or anything like that, but he did a really, really great job. And I was really, really happy with the selection that he made. And yeah, all I told him was I definitely wanted a rose gold band, and he definitely included that. Also, if you are talking to your partner about it, don't deviate. I think if you do talk about it and you do know what they want, I would definitely try to stick to what they want. And if your partner wants to be very specific about it, I think that's also okay too. And maybe that'll be easier for you if you're the one planning to propose or buy the ring. In terms of the actual proposal itself, you know your partner best, you know yourself best, you know your relationship the best, and I think it should be an occasion that's planned that reflects the relationship. So do you think you'll both enjoy something romantic, something grand, something really, really unique? And I think the key is you two might have different opinions or different approaches. And if that's the case, then I would just think about what kind of occasion or event or celebration will make it really special. Because you don't want to put either of yourselves in a situation that's so uncomfortable. I think, of course, if you're planning the proposal, I was talking to John about this. He was telling me, it's actually pretty stressful, like planning it and actually even doing the proposal. It can be a lot, which I can understand. I mean, it's also a really big commitment. It's a really big gesture, and I never had really thought about it that way. But I think as long as you're true to yourself, I think nothing really else really matters. So if something very private and intimate is your vibe, then that's all you have to do. You don't have to go so grand, so production heavy and have this crazy celebration, because if that's not who you guys are or who the two of you are, then you don't have to force it, is what I'm trying to say. I do love, though, getting family and loved ones involved when possible. Of course, if you don't live in the same area or location as your friends and family, then okay, that's going to be difficult to kind of maneuver. But I suppose that's why a lot of people do get engaged during like the holiday season or around it, because there's just a lot of opportunities when people are already physically kind of together in the same space. So that's something that I always suggest, or that I would suggest, is getting family and friends involved, whether it's a celebration or maybe just suggestions like even about the ring or how to plan their proposal. I think it just really depends on the situation, and not just who you're close to, but think about your partner as well, because you know, whoever your partner is close to, whether it's friends or chosen family or family, I think they will know your partner well. So it's a great opportunity for you to plan something that will make both of you very happy. And I already mentioned this earlier, but I think that capturing the moment is definitely, even if it's going to be pretty private. Of course, if you're going to plan to do it in your home or something like that, or an impromptu moment, then it's going to be hard to capture the moment, you know, secretively. But when possible, I think capturing the moment is really meaningful, and you won't regret it, because you're going to look back and it's going to be beautiful. I was looking back at our engagement videos and just things that happened that day, and it was so long ago, but it really took me back, and it made me so happy, because it was a time that's so celebratory, like a huge step in your lives. People are there to celebrate with you, and I think you're going to want to remember it for sure. So even if it's very not professional, even if it's you setting up like a secret camera somewhere in your home as it's happening, that's totally fine. But I do suggest you figure out a way to definitely capture the moment in all its raw glory. It doesn't have to be super stylized or professional. If you think that you're getting proposed to, there's definitely ways to prepare as well. Of course, if you want it to be a surprise, like you're really never gonna know. But if you're someone who gets like manicures or care about how your nails look and you're gonna get photos taken, then definitely maintain your hands. At the very least, keep them moisturized and your nails neat and tidy. Because, you know, that's always going to be in all the ring photos, you know? And so also think about how you're going to respond, because I sure didn't. And I think John is on this chat right now, or the live right now, and I really didn't prepare how to respond at all. I mean, I knew I was going to say yes, but I was so caught off guard because this whole situation of the proposal setting, I did not know that it was happening at that moment. And so when it happened, I was just kind of in shock, and I literally kind of blacked out, and I was just like, what are you doing? And I was just super shocked, and of course I was very happy, but I don't think I got like really emotional, but I honestly don't remember much, because I do feel like I kind of blacked out. But all that to say, I mean, you don't have to be so over prepared. If you know you're going to say yes, I guess that's really all that matters. But maybe there is a way you want to respond in your own way. So if you feel like coming, then that's something that you can think about as well. If you have a proposal story, or bad or good, I guess, or an engagement story to share, whether it's your own or maybe one of your friends or family members, I would really, really love to hear about it. If you can either send me a DM or an email, all my info is in the description, or you can leave it in the comments as well. I would really love to hear about it, because I love a good engagement story, and I've been seeing some really, really cute ones on Instagram, and I can't wait to keep seeing more. And you know, they are really simple. I've seen ones that have gotten captured at home somehow, and I really love all of those moments from big to small. Yeah, a couple of the ones that I thought were really cool, if you're looking for ideas, is there was a filmmaker, or I think he's like a video producer or something like that, and he created this animation film, like in the style of Pixar. And his girlfriend thought she was like going to see a trailer, like a movie trailer. But then as it was playing, she realized it was a story about them. And then basically the trailer ended with him proposing, and then in real life he proposed. And I thought that was really, really cute, really sweet and really meaningful. And I think it was done in like a bar or a restaurant, and it was really just the two of them there. That was really, really cute. And so I think it just, you just have to decide or think about like, what you want to present or how you want to present it. And there's just so many ways you could do it. Again, from the smallest of moments to the biggest grand splashes that you can think of. So I'm really excited to hear what you might be thinking about for your proposal. I would really, really love to know. So please, please, please drop your story in the comments. We'd love to know. And I really hope that your January is going well. Honestly, all the months blur together for me these days. And so I'm just taking it day by day, week by week. I know there's also just a lot of noise externally going on in the country, the world. And I am really learning to kind of keep things at bay while staying informed, like keep my feelings at bay. And that's okay. And I just want to let you know, like, we're all gonna be okay. So I hope you're hanging in there, whatever's going on in your life. And I just realized I forgot to do the new thing that I have been doing, which is sharing something that's been enhancing my life these days. And I did have something that I wanted to share, and I'm seeing if it's on my desk, and it's not. So I'm gonna grab it real quick. But I just bought this because my nephew actually got it. And it's kind of like for comfort and for like, it's like a weighted plush doll or stuffed animal. And I got it because, I mean, first of all, it's super cute. I'm not really like a stuffed animal person at all, but I do like having kind of like a body pillow. And so I bought this on Amazon because I saw he had it, and he has the smaller version and I have the bigger version. And this looks gigantic now that I'm holding it up, but it is pretty big. It's like my little cat. It's a 24 inches. And then they have a little pouch where you put the beads in here, like the weighted beads. So this is what I got. I have linked it below. I bought it on Amazon if you want to check it out. I haven't used it yet, but I think it's gonna be good. It's really nice and soft and cuddly. So I'm really excited to use it. But as always, I'm so grateful that you are here. If you like this video, please hit that like button for me. You can always subscribe for more videos, or to just stay up to date with notifications. And remember, I do have a free wedding planning guide that you can download, linked below. Also, tinyurl.com/bestweddingguide, tinyurl.com/bestweddingguide. Thank you so much for being here. Next week, I've seen a lot of chatter on the internet about wedding tax. And honestly, I didn't even know what people were talking about. But I've seen so much chatter about just how much things cost, and I get it. Things are expensive, it's hard. And I know economically it's just really hard for people right now. In general, like business is a little bit slow for us too. But I did want to talk about it because I think, from the client side, it's obviously one thing. And then from the vendor and service side, it's another thing. So I'm going to talk about that next week. I think it's a hot topic for sure, especially as we're in booking season. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you next time. Thank you for being here.